The web is universal.
The internet is freedom.
The web is genius.
I think the web is a reflection of society. The web is pornography, gossip, flirting, power plays, people making money.
The internet is global. The world is global. And I think that when you look at, the fact that media is global today in a way that it never was before, it is going to have fundamental impact.
I think the best way to think about the web is that it's a huge unfolding social experiment in which we are both part of the experiment and conducting it.
In the 20th century, if you had something to say in public, you couldn't, period. Right? If you were a civilian, if you were a citizen but not a media professional, you could not broadcast a message.
The means of production to have your voice heard, to find an audience, to join in, have been hugely costly in the past. You've needed recording studios or television studios or printing presses. Now someone with an iPhone can post a video, make a podcast, connect to someone else. Anyone with the means of communication through a computer can have access potentially to a vast audience. In that sense, it has completely blown apart and leveled access to communications and collaboration.
I think one of the things that has happened to the first generation of kids to grow up always being online, which by the way are my kids, they have never experienced dial-up or anything like that. They've always had always on. And what I've seen is they have a global awareness that was not present in my generation. They really feel as if this is one world.
The web is for me the connection to my friends from Germany.
The web is my life.
The web is like everybody lives in London, right? The web is like everybody has access to this enormous pool of people, inexhaustibly large and diverse pool of people. And as a result, on Facebook, on Twitter, on MySpace, on Bebo, etc., people will have the experience of having thousands of friends. Right? Well, no one really has thousands of friends. It's evident to everybody that the web has been this incredible amplifier of weak ties. What we don't know is what that's doing to strong ties. It's nice to have people where you can say, oh, hey, I'm coming out to San Jose, you want to get together for coffee, whatever. But it's really nice to have somebody who'd loan you a kidney if you needed one. And if we're amping up the former at the expense of the latter, that's a really big change in the way human society works or can work.
People were very suspicious of the ability of the web to actually really enable serious relationships and trust.
When my wife and I were courting, we only used email to say, I'll meet you at such and such a place at such and such a time. I'd had relationships, sometimes long relationships, in which, carefully constructed email back and forth was a big part of the relationship. And I think it ultimately damaged the face-to-face stuff, because I thought if too much of this relationship goes into the network, we may never be able to get it back out again.
The web is possibility.
The web is humanity connected.
I think people who maybe before were lost or felt alone in their own little interests now are able to really connect with people who share what they share, this fascination with something in particular. And that particularness has been amplified and magnified. It's a new form of culture, and the culture will range from playfulness and inefficiency and just playing around to the most serious accomplishments and achievements of humanity.
What is possible today with social technologies is profound. Namely, you can be sitting at your house and you can actually impact the lives of someone sitting in a country hundreds of thousands of miles away that is wrought with political strife. You can say, I'm here, I'm listening to you. One of our Ning networks is the Congo Wall, which was created by Eve Ensler, who had just gotten back from the Congo with her V-Day organization, where women are being brutalized as a means of fighting a war. And the fact of the matter is they feel alone. And with social technology, women from all over the world could come to this Ning network and leave a message for the women of the Congo. They printed them out and took them to the hospital in the Congo where women were recovering. No one is alone anymore. And I actually think that's a really powerful thing. You can sit at your house and make change. And we're talking about social change and political change and economic change in a way that was never possible before. And I think that that's something that we should embrace, and that we should look at what are the ways that we're going to make it the best of what people can be, as opposed to the worst of what people